Listen, anyway, if you're listening, sir or ma'am, welcome to a ohno. My name's Jack Finch, who's Danny Burke.
Oh my god, get into the point. Get into the point, man.
Stranger Things, Season 3.
What's that? 80s?
Yeah, it's the 80s though, but the 80s team. Stranger Things, Season 3. We're coming out from the horror behind, which is a bit of a strange name, isn't it? The horror behind. Is it like the horror behind you? Or the horror behind me? Or the horror behind Stranger Things?
It's the horror behind Stranger Things this week.
I mean, let's not beat around the bush. Stranger Things is a fantastic television show. Obviously, Season 3 dropped a week and a bit ago.
Yeah.
Danny and I both burned quickly through it.
Yeah.
Different junctures.
I stayed up very late one night watching it.
I accidentally watched an episode without Danny, and then we kind of
we were
a little bit different. Yeah, but we both got there in the end.
Yeah.
Fantastic television show. Very scary. Very 80s.
Very 80s.
Very good.
Really good.
Created by the Duffer Brothers. If we were the brothers, we wouldn't be Duffer, would we? Quite a few people think we are brothers.
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's just because we live in Canada.
We both
sound similar. Yeah.
Both have the same colour hair.
Beards.
We both have Irish ancestry. Our last name's Burke.
Both of our last names are Burke. I'm Jack. We're both.
Anyway, the MK Ultra mind workers.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get into Stranger Things.
Give them some context.
Yeah. Okay. You may not think it, but there is actually some terrifying stuff behind Stranger Things. The whole concept behind Stranger Things is this, CIA-esque kind of MK Ultra mind control thing. Season 1 laid that down quite a lot. Season 2 laid that down. Season 3 elaborated big time on the conspiracy behind CIA, which is very behind Stranger Things.
Behind Stranger Things. Oh.
The CIA is involved. Hopefully they're not listening, or the NSA, or whatever. We're going to get in trouble for this video.
You know what happens when you say their name. That's when they start listening.
They're flagged us now. There's a guy just went, hold on a minute. What is this? Listen, anyway, if you're listening, sir or ma'am, welcome to a ohno. My name's Jack Finch, who's Danny Burke.
Oh my god, get into the point. Get into the point, man.
Right, okay. We're gonna jump in to a few horror behind Stranger Things, right?
Give me what you got.
Spoilers, by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen Stranger Things Season 3. There is one scene in Stranger Things where Steve, the Hare Harrington, is sat in a chair next to his new ice cream scooper friend, Robin, after they've descended into a underground Russian bunker, which is beneath Star.
Hawkins is taking another step into the future with the brand new Starcourt Mall.
And during that moment where they're in the chair, they get administered with a serum, right? That serum was a real thing and is a real thing. And there was a document released in 1972? Sorry, 1955. This was before the whole MK Ultra thing came out. For those of you that don't know, MK Ultra was a CIA operational kind of crazy, really bad. They did some really bad stuff. But a lot of the lid got blown after Watergate, right?
Yeah.
But one of those documents beforehand came out with a 17-point analysis on what the goal of creating these chemical substances to administer during the MK Ultra project were, right? One of them was truth serum, which we see with Steve the Hare Harrington and Robin. Listen to this, okay? These are the goals of, this is information freely available. These are the goals that MK Ultra wanted to go. There are 17 goals that they wanted to get to create a chemical substance to use in MK Ultra. The first one, substances which will promote illogical thinking and impulsiveness to the point where the recipient would be discredited in public.
Right, okay.
That is the first chemical substance they wanted to create.
Right.
Can you think of...
I mean, all of them? Like, all the characters were meant to be discredited in public, weren't
Right?
they? 11? You know? She seemed pretty, like, out of it. I don't know. Have you got someone in mind, is that what you're saying?
Well, so there's Alexei, the Russian guy. It's Murray, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Murray is that guy, right? Murray is the guy that everyone, he's the
Yes, he's
avid
crazy
conspiracy
fanatic,
theorist.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Number 2, substances which increase the efficiency of mentation and perception.
Okay.
That's 11, right?
That's 11, yeah.
But is it also will?
Yes, yeah. That could be the lingering leftover thing, is that he's able to perceive, you know, him,
Right.
and the upside down.
And he just that.
Blood all the time, yeah. Yeah. Which is sort of like his supernatural version of when we get the chills.
Yeah.
You know? We physically feel something in the back of our neck, and he physically feels it too, but he's feeling not a physical thing, he's feeling a supernatural thing.
Is it mentation or perception?
Is it what?
Mentation or perception, as the MK Ultra document says.
Yeah. I'd say it's
What is
perceiving
that?
it. Yeah.
Is that mentation? Is that perception?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a strange one. Materials which will cause the victim to age faster, slower in maturity.
Faster.
Faster or slower in maturity. Is
Okay.
that Dustin?
Okay, you think what, Dustin's older or younger?
Well, I'm trying to see if there are correlations to characters within, right?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
most of them, Dustin seems to.
Well, okay, go on.
Go.
I was going to say the obvious one is Will.
Also,
You know, Will was the most subjected to all of this, and then he's like, not only is he like, you know, mentally behind them,
Yeah.
and everyone shrugs it off, don't they? They say, well, oh, he missed out on all of that. Like, well, not really. He was gone for, in physical time, he was gone for, what, months? Weeks?
yeah, it wasn't that
Was
long.
it weeks? Like 2 weeks he was gone?
it's like during the summer break.
And then that's meant to explain the fact that he spent a year saying, can we play D&D?
Now can we play D&D?
No.
Like, come on, like, if you missed 2 weeks when you're 13, you wouldn't regress a year, you know? And he was also, I don't know if this was just the actors, but he looked like physically smaller as well, like
He
in
did.
terms of like regressing him.
100%.
You know? Like he didn't grow up or something, like.
100%. I think they were trying to allude that with Dustin because in the second season, Dustin seemed to be like chasing the tails of everyone and stuff.
Yeah.
And he felt a little bit left out. That's why he found the Demogorgon like pup and stuff. Season 3, we kind of got the whole Susie thing. Does he have a girlfriend? Yes, he does. Never in a store. That one. But yeah, I think Will's that guy.
Yeah.
Will seemed to be the victim to age slower.
Exactly. He's the perfect one for that in my eyes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 materials which will promote the intoxicating effect of alcohol. That's Hopper. That's an easy one.
Okay. Yeah. Is it any sort? Is just alcohol?
Yeah, just alcohol.
Because you know, I always found that weird about Stranger Things, and I'm still waiting for this to come up.
Okay.
I've been waiting since season 1. I noticed in one of the first few episodes of season 1, they zoom in, they dedicate so much screen time without you knowing to close-ups of Hopper's cigarette. And I'm not talking about, like, you look at lots of other characters and you see them smoking and stuff, but you go back and watch throughout all the episodes, it will literally cut a whole scene to go, and then they'll carry on the scene. And at the start, I was thinking, okay, this is his cop is gonna throw it onto the gas, or it's gonna be like, we're gonna be sitting there in the last episode of season 1 going, throw the cigarette on them, Robert, you know, like, and that'll be it. That didn't happen. Season 2 came, and the same thing. Season 3, and they were still doing those close-ups. So I don't know if that's some sort of, I don't know if it just looks cool. Maybe it just looks cool.
Hey, it's on screen for a reason.
Smoking's not cool, by the way.
Smoking's not cool.
But,
Don't-
you know,
don't.
I don't know if it's an aesthetic thing for the 80s, or if it's an addictive thing, or something's going on.
That's a very interesting point. I mean, that's a very loose one, number 4. Let's
Okay,
all right.
alright.
Okay, 5 materials which will produce the signs and symptoms of recognized diseases in a reversible way so they may be used for malingering, etc. That's a bit of a weird one.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, let's skip over that one.
What does that mean?
Diseases? Okay, materials which will produce the signs and symptoms of recognized diseases in a reversible way so they may be used for malingering, etc.
Okay, so
that's a little bit...
is it creating symptoms of diseases?
Yo,
So
that's a little bit like Billy.
yes,
Symptoms of the whole...
exactly, yeah. That's sort of
I didn't think we'd find this much with this.
creating things that look on the surface like something else. You know, someone could say that about Will at the start when he kept on his visions. It's like, does he have psychosis? You know, it's like
Right.
make it look like it's something else. And you know, the doctor came and everyone's just like, for the first while, everyone's like, oh, don't worry about it, Will. And 11 could look like she's just straight up just an abuse victim. She's just been abused and that. And then you could overlook that and say, well, she thinks all these things. She has these weird, you know.
She's demonstrating
about Billy as well. Like all of these things, you know, could be.
That's an interesting one.
You know.
Number 6, materials which will cause temporary, permanent brain damage and loss of memory. I think that goes without saying, right? That's pretty much everyone. Yeah, we'll skip over that one. Okay, number 7, substances which will enhance the ability of individuals to withstand privation, torture, and coercion during interrogation and so-called brainwashing. I suppose that's the whole, the one that brought us into this for the Steve and Robin thing, right?
Yes. Do you think that they had that then because they were resistant to it?
It messed up the drug.
You messed it up. Moron.
Moron.
Hey, moron.
I mean, they were laughing their way through it, right? So maybe there's...
Well, this is the thing. When Hopper called in the cavalry, it almost seemed like a bit too pre-prepared and ready for it. The way Hopper called them, he didn't have to explain. He just sort of said a few code words and they knew. So what if America was double bluffing? What if America knew the Russians were going to do this and they gave these chemicals to the people of Dawkins and they gave this Hawkins. They gave them the chemicals as a way of, because they knew that some of them would get taken and interrogated and all this kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
That's good, and you have a little bit of a point there. Also, I feel like we've got our conspiracy theorist brains on, and we could find anything in this. I feel like I'd be like, number 12, people are inclined to ride tricycles.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah. Okay, and that's probably the big. There's not a huge load.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting, right? There seems to be some direct correlation with. I mean, obviously this was established in season 1. We knew with Hawkins' lab that the alleged mind control experiments that haven't been disclosed from MK Ultra.
Yeah.
This is what Stranger Things is, but it's very interesting to see some of the parallels of what has actually been released.
Yes. Yeah.
Into some of the characters that are forming this world, right? They all seem to be fitting quite neatly into different holes.
I also think, like, in the 80s, a lot of this stuff you just detailed wasn't really sort of public knowledge.
Right.
And it's the Stranger Things is imagining, what if those 80s trope characters actually lived in the world that we know they were actually living in, or potentially living in, that they didn't, because, you know, you're reading this off a page now, like they didn't know it. But what if we took these, you know, the Goonies, and put them into an MK Ultra world? Like, what would that look like?
That's essentially what it is.
It's the Goonies in MK Ultra.
That's brilliant.
You know?
Okay. What have you got for me?
Well, I'll start off by just saying, did you know what the original title of Stranger Things was going to be? The original working title?
Strangest
No.
thing.
The original working title they had quite a while before Stranger Things was just called Montauk. And that is all to do with this military base they had. And the Montauk Project. But it's crazy. Some of the stuff and the correlation, like you can see exactly what they were thinking when they were going to name it that. But then it also makes me wonder why did they take that name away? Because it's almost a bit like. So I'll start off with a little quote from a guy called Preston Nichols, who says he was an electrical engineer in Montauk in the early 80s. He said, I found myself on this screwball project, which became known as the Montauk Project. We began to look at how you could interface minds with computer systems, the idea being that you could fly a fighter plane by pure thought, but it soon evolved into developing a mind control device. They wanted to flip a switch and have everyone respond to a computer program. While they never found a signal that worked universally, they were able to target individuals very well. Later, it was determined that if the individual whose mind was powering the machine could think of other time periods, this machine could generate a vortex there, essentially a time machine.
Well, okay, I mean,
now
the latter half of that
I know
is quite
that goes a bit crazy. It jumps into a whole thing called the Philadelphia experiment, which you may or may not have heard of.
Is that the one on the ship?
That's where they apparently moved a ship through time and space and that kind of stuff.
I've heard
that gets a bit crazy, but the truth is that there genuinely was military experiments going on there, and even to this day, it's still guarded and protected. And the people who worked there say that the lower levels have just been filled in with concrete now, and it's not even being talked about.
The lower levels?
There are lower levels to it, sort of like in Stranger Things when you go right down
underneath the mall.
Well, I don't know.
That's a deep mall.
Yes.
Wow, that's a great little detail then. There's obviously... Okay, sorry.
In his 1992 book, Montauk Project, Experiments in Time, Preston claims that Congress became wary of developing mind control techniques and shut down the research. Yet the military took up the baton and allowed scientists to shift their sensitive work to the then defunct Camp Hero.
What is happening?
But we watched something recently. There was a girl called Hero.
What did we watch recently where there was... the main character was a girl called Hero?
I think the last thing I watched with you was Stranger Things, though. But it was since then, wasn't it? It was more recent than that. I swear it was the most recent thing I ever watched.
Hero. Her name was Hero.
Was she not in Stranger Things?
No.
Was there not a girl called Hero in Stranger Things? No.
She's called Maxie.
I don't know, dude. Like, it's freaking me out, but like...
I remember this. I remember this memory.
I know. She was like a main character too, wasn't she?
She was the main character.
So, Camp Hero, the defunct Camp Hero.
Okay. Freaky.
So, and this, the big claim that this guy made was that it was claimed to alter the behaviour on the locals, right? So, and this is where it ties into Stranger Things. He said that they used to trigger 2-hour crime waves, or teenagers would be prompted to congregate in one area, which like could be the teenagers, whatever. And this is but this is also the thing. What if everyone in Stranger Things was America testing its homegrown defense system? What if it was the ultimate defense against the Russians, was employing each town would be able to be triggered using chemicals or signals, and the military would just come in and mop it, whatever.
This is what you're saying about the way that Hopper reacted to the government, right? When he called them up. This is what you're saying. Like, there was this Hawkins, Indiana was meant to be a test.
Hawkins seems like too much of a normal place I think they're drilling it into us over 3 seasons. They could have moved it somewhere else. They tried to move it somewhere else in season 2.
Didn't go
but
anywhere.
This is happening everywhere, and there's always going to be plucky young kids.
That's really good.
And they're trying to explain the 80s trope of kids saving the day in their own towns.
Yes.
And what if it is that the American government had, like this, he literally said in his thing, teenagers were prompted to congregate, like to come together, and if they figured something out, like. What kind of teenagers would do that?
You can see that with the mall, right? You can say like within season 3, particularly the illusion of the mall and people flocking to the mall and destroying the small town America kind of shops and stuff. That fits in with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Other signals caused animals to charge into town or shut down car electronics. But this is the really creepy thing. The rats, yeah. Well, they shut down the car electronics. Wasn't there something where the electronics shut down in season 1 or something like that?
Well, in this season it demagnetized, but that was because of the Russians underneath the mall.
Yes, but the most sinister part of this was the Montauk chair, which was essentially a mind-reading device. Now, this is the really, really creepy part. Talks about the things it can do, but the really thing that I think really pertains to it is the experiment they used to do with it called the seeing eye. Now that involves someone clutching a lock of someone's hair or a personal belonging, concentrating on them and claiming to see through their eyes, hear through their ears, and feel through their body. Now who does that sound like? Now that's like one of the things that a bunch of them said. They said they had the seeing eye.
Well, when Eleven does this, she goes into a sensory deprivation area, right? In the first 2 seasons, they tried their best to get her in pools and stuff, but in this one she seems to have mastered it a little bit better, and she can kind of do it just with a blindfold on, or in a certain situation. Mm-hmm. If you read up on the MK Ultra project, the main component of what they were first trying to disseminate is how does sensory deprivation affect the human mind when it's isolated.
Right. I know that.
That's terrifying.
I know.
That's terrifying.
It's mental.
It's Montauk. Montauk?
So,
Montauk?
another way it ties in really well is that the guy who was operating was a guy called Duncan. Apparently, he was like the one who operated it. And apparently, it was halted. The project was halted once when Duncan unleashed a monster through the machine. He wrote, Duncan let loose a monster from his subconscious, and the transmitter actually portrayed a hairy monster. It was big, hairy, and nasty. It showed up somewhere on the base. It would eat everything it could find, and it smashed everything in sight. Like, so what if that was the inspiration for them in Stranger Things? What if,
of course,
it's all a creation? Like, there is no upside down. It's just it's like there's no reflection without the physical thing. It's just our own creation, you know.
That's a really kind of like modern horror trope as well, isn't it?
And it's really scary that it can't be defeated unless we defeat ourselves. Like, we're not going to defeat ourselves. The upside down will always exist. You can't defeat the upside down because it's like trying to kill your own shadow.
It's like what's behind your brain.
Yeah. It's literally like trying to kick your own shadow to death. It's like it's never going to work. You're always going to have a shadow, aren't you?
Dude, you're making me go a bit weird.
Yeah. Montauk, and that would have been the name for the show. We would have been sitting here being like, "Welcome to
Montauk."
Yeah, behind the,
I guess they thought it wouldn't have been made as it wouldn't have been taken seriously with it,
yes,
kind of
exactly.
Stylized Stranger Things, Stephen King-esque like.
That's exactly it. It would have, and like I said, like, they wanted to take the conspiracy aspects of that and apply it to something a bit more
palatable.
Yes, exactly.
Reachable.
Yes, relatable.
Maybe that's why they interweave it with all of these 80s kind of references. Like, the biggest one this season was the huge Russian guy who was obviously Terminator 2,
yes.
right?
Drop the weapon!
Or what? You going to shoot?
Hasta la vista, baby.
There was so many different every season does that, right? But maybe that's why the Duffer Brothers chose to weave in all these friendly kind of great soundtracks and flashing lights. Maybe the Duffer Brothers are like, yo, Montauk Monsters out there.
Yeah. Well, this is just brings back to my original point, which is why I brought it up originally, and it will round off what we're talking about now quite nicely. Why did they change the name? Like, why did they really change the name? If you're saying it's because they want to appear more friendly, they could have still called it Montauk. They could have had a bunch of Goonie gangs running around in Montauk, and it could have educated everyone about this crazy thing.
I mean, you've got a point there, right? And I don't want to jump into it, and because so many shows and projects get renamed different ways and shapes and forms, right? But it's a bit of a leap, isn't it? It is a bit of a leap. And Montauk's a very... If a focus group or a marketing group was kind of thinking, all right, we've got this new TV show, Montauk. All they need to do is type Montauk into the internet, and it will be huge. There will be so many hits to that.
But also,
I understand.
I really like the name Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is great.
Like, it's the saying, I've seen Stranger Things.
Yes.
Which is genius.
Yes.
It's your own marketing in one single sentence. I've seen Stranger Things.
Yes.
Like, no matter, so whenever you tell any of your friends you saw something scary and they say, I've seen Stranger Things, that's immediately put that show as the pinnacle.
Just make yourself an idiom.
I've seen Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And I have. Jack has. Hopefully you have too, otherwise this video made no sense.
If you haven't seen Stranger Things, and you've struggled through this video, then wow.
I think everyone's struggled through this video.
We had fun.
Thanks for watching, guys. We did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we rounded that out. What do you guys think about Stranger Things 3? Do you have any kind of like crazy theories about it? And there's definitely millions, hundreds of millions.
You got a message coming in?
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap it up.
Gotta wrap it up.
Gotta wrap it up. Yeah.
Hero?
Yeah. Yeah. He's just mouthing hero at us. Okay, we're gonna go now. Thanks for watching, guys.
If you don't hear from us in exactly a week, then release the tapes.
Yeah. Just release all of them. They're all on the top shelf. They're labelled Jack Danny. Emergency Operation A. Thanks for watching, guys.
Watching The Horror Behind. I've been Jack, he's been Danny.
Yeah, see you in the next one.
Bye.
Alright, okay, we're stopping it.
Leave it!
Now.